All right, welcome back. Today's session, we're going to talk about football players learning how to eat correctly to get ready for the football season. This is one of the biggest problems we have with our young athletes is, it's getting enough calories to do what they need to do for their work output. So what I want to do is I'm going to make sure, and in here I'll have a link for you as well so you can download this. But I think the biggest thing that's helped us teach our athletes how to eat properly for enough energy to help their bodies recover, to be able to get through the workouts that they need to build the mass and the strength and power they need is our fuel chart. So our fuel chart on here, and again, I'll have a link in here for this. We have all of our kids go through and fill this out. And this is whether they're doing their stuff at home or they're with us in our summer camps or throughout the school year. But every time they eat, what I have them do when they show up to our camp on the first day is they fill out everything they eat in one typical day. Okay. What I tell them is I don't want them to do, well, Bob's going to look at this, so I want to write this or this, just whatever a typical day is, because I want them really to learn. So the biggest thing they're going to learn out of this is almost always they're not getting enough calories. Two, they're not getting enough protein in the right times of the day. Carbohydrates and protein ratio is way off for most of them, and they're not even hydrating properly. And that's important no matter where you're at. Of course, if you're here in the desert in Phoenix, it's a must when our camps are out here and it's hot. But anywhere you have to do that, even in the wintertime. In the winter, we find our kids drink even less because it's not that hot. The body still needs it for all the work output that they're doing. So filling out the fuel chart every time they eat and drink. Then we send them to a website, calorieking.com. And again, I want the kids to do it, not the parents, because they need to learn. So as they're putting in there, they'll type in ham sandwich, and it'll give them a couple choices on the size or if they went to get it somewhere to shop or anything else. And we have to tell them, get as close as you can. You're going to fill out the carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and the calories. So all of it's in there on the calorieking.com, and they'll do that for every item they do for one day. I don't want them dwelling on the calories, and that's not the whole goal. Is the main thing is when they get that filled it out, then they bring it out, or they can email it to me, and I'll make some notes to it and send it back to them so they can do another one. By the time they complete our summer conditioning program, they know how to eat. They're properly trained. They're ready to go for the football season. So if your son or daughter's getting ready for football coming up and they're wanting to put on some muscle, they've got to eat right. And that's such a key. And this has been a key thing that we've heard from parents. And we know and we see it because they're on the field and our training rooms and everything throughout the summer. So we know how they're progressing. But the parents will compliment and talk about it that, man, we're going out to eat and they're not doing the soda that they used to. They don't even want it. They understand the difference of it. They're doing water first with their meal. They're keeping up with their meals. They're figuring out they're getting protein in each meal. That's what they're asking. Hey, Mom, what's for dinner? Well, what's a protein? What are we trying to get in there? So they get that every time. So to figure out how much of that, not only with a fuel chart, but I want our athletes, we tell them I want 80 to 100% of their body weight in grams of protein. So before you panic, if I've got a 100-pound athlete, we're only talking about 80 to 100 grams a day. And that's about 20 to 25% of their total calories that they're going to get in throughout that day as well. So it's important that they get it in. But we tell them every time you eat, get a protein. So ideally, for my high school kids, I want them eating 6 times a day. And yes, it can be a protein shake for a supplement to add in 1 or 2 extra if they need to. But I prefer they get most of their calories from chewing and eating it, okay? It's really important that they get that message in there, okay? I don't want them just having 5 shakes a day and then a Pop-Tart for breakfast. They've got to have the fuel. They've got to have the fiber. We've got to get other things in their body to help them recover and repair, okay? Now, at the same time as we go through this, hydrating, I want them to have half their body weight in ounces of water. So that 200-pound athlete, 100 ounces. 100-pound athlete, 50 ounces. So they'll calculate and figure that as they go. And it's not just on training day. I don't want them coming out and go, well, I forgot to drink, so I'm going to drink this 32-ounce bottle of water as I go out on the field to practice. They're going to have a hard time. Their stomach is going through. So it's steady throughout the day. Afterwards, I typically tell the kids, I don't even count the water they're drinking during practice and training time. I want it before and after throughout the day so they're well hydrated, okay? Now, in addition to this, I'm going to put another video out, look for it. It's about overtraining. And overtraining is kind of, it has a bad rap in the back. I don't want anybody overtraining, but most of the time it's coming from the athlete. That's the fault of the athlete about the overtraining. And before you know or jump on me for that, look at the next video when that comes out. titled Overtraining. Is it your fault or the coach's fault? And then you're going to get a better idea. I appreciate you guys. Please share this with your football players, your coaches, other parents, so they get the link as well on how to download this free report here on your fuel chart so they learn how to eat and get ready for the football season. Don't wait till July and say, well, I got to put 10 pounds on before the season. It starts right now. Get on it, get going, and then look for all of our other tips we have in the football performance section of our YouTube page. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys, and keep questions coming, and we'll get you ready for football season.